Bună dimineața tuturor! Mulțumim frumos că ați acceptat invitația noastră la evenimentul Tehnologia nu înlocuiește pe oameni, îi conectează, un proiect organizat în parteneriat cu Total Tech. Ultimul an cât de importantă este tehnologia în viața noastră și, evident, digitalizarea și toată automatizarea a fost de multe ori îmbrățișată, poate într-un mod forțat de către multe organizații, într-un context în care a fost nevoie de o schimbare. Tehnologia aduce schimbare în organizație, dar aduce schimbare bună și ăsta e mesajul pe care vrem să-l aducem astăzi către dumneavoastră, în sensul în care ne conectează, ne eficientizează procesele, ne face evident mult mai productiv și asta ne-am propus cu cele 4 prezentări pe care le-am pregătit pentru următoarea oră. De asemenea, după cele 4 prezentări, vom avea și o sesiune de Q&A, așa că vă încurajăm să adresați cât mai multe întrebări speakerilor noștri de astăzi în secțiunea de Q&A. La finalul sesiunii vom prelua acele întrebări. De asemenea, suntem live și pe YouTube, pe Facebook și pe LinkedIn, pentru cei dintre noastre care ați preferat varianta aceasta de vizualizare a evenimentului. Vă încurajăm să răspundeți și la pulurile de evaluare ce vor apărea în dreapta ecranului dumneavoastră pe parcursul evenimentului. Bineînțeles, feedback-ul e important, atât pentru noi ca organizatori, cât și pentru speaker și cu siguranță ne dorim cu viitoarele evenimente să răspundem așteptărilor dumneavoastră. Cam acesta este mesajul de deschidere și aș vrea să și începem, așa cum vă spuneam, 4 prezentări. Mă bucur că am alături de mine astăzi pe Cătălin Ivana, director de vânzări Total Technologies. Cătălin va fi gazda evenimentului de astăzi alături de mine și co-moderator. El va adresa întrebări speakerilor noștri, va face tranziție ușoară către prezentări, va concluziona un pic din mesajele pe care cei 4 invitați de astăzi își doresc să le transmită. Cătălin are o experiență bogată de peste 10 ani în vânzări în diverse domenii, inclusiv FMCG și tehnologie. În prezent coordonează cu succes echipa de vânzări din cadrul Total Technologies. Are o viziune foarte bună asupra mediului de business din România, cât și în zona regională și mă bucur că l-am alături de mine astăzi. Bună dimineața, Cătălin!
Introducere. Bun găsit tuturor și din partea mea. Sunt același Cătălin Ivana. Probabil că o parte dintre dumneavoastră mă cunoașteți de la webinarele trecute cu care am trecut pandemia, să-i spunem așa, din 2020. Câteva specificații tehnice, că tot ne aflăm la un webinar de tehnologie. Sunt un mare fan al gadgeturilor și al sistemelor de automatizare. Cu 35 de ani de experiență de viață, dintre care cei 10 ani menționați de Daniel în domeniul vânzărilor, iar 7 din acești 10 ani am dedicat acestui domeniu interesant, dar și provocator de automatic identification. Ne bucurăm și suntem onorați să vedem că sunteți prezenți astăzi într-un număr atât de mare. În primul rând, pentru faptul că întreaga echipă a avut o implicare exemplară în a aduce astăzi în fața noastră cele mai interesante subiecte de actualitate, deoarece, ca de obicei, ne dorim să vă oferim o oră și jumătate cel puțin productivă și astfel am invitat specialiști din fiecare segment în parte pentru a avea informații la prima mână, cum s-ar spune. Iar în al doilea rând, cu toate că nu a fost, să spunem, marketat acest lucru, am putea spune că este o ediție aniversară, deoarece luna aceasta, în luna iunie, mai exact pe data de 10, Total Technologies împlinește 29 de ani de existență. Aproape 3 decenii de experiență, timp în care am susținut sute de companii în atingerea obiectivelor. Sunt 29 de ani în care am adus în România cele mai noi tehnologii care să vă ajute să optimizați procesele, să scădeți costurile și să reducem erorile și impactul acestora. Faptul că suntem cu toții astăzi prezenți aici și faptul că sunt parteneri alături de care lucrăm de mai bine de 10 ani, ne dă încrederea necesară să continuăm să facem acest lucru. Ceea ce încercăm și astăzi să facem, și anume să vă prezentăm soluții inovative care poate acum sau în viitor vor fi de folos. Și pentru că tot este aniversarea și apreciem faptul că ne sunteți alături, pentru cei mai competitivi dintre dumneavoastră am pregătit la final și un concurs, o întrebare din specificul acestui eveniment, iar primul răspuns corect în chat va fi câștigător. Astfel, vă îndemn să acordați atenție prezentărilor ce urmează, nu neapărat din prisma premiului, ci pentru că sunt informații importante și pe care noi credem că vă vor fi de interes. Astfel, să intrăm în pâine, cum s-ar spune, și cu primul invitat, Daniel.
Mulțumesc, Cătălin. Vă încurajez și eu să fiți cât mai eveniment, să ne adresați cât mai multe întrebări. Vom începe cu Miha Capuder, Territory Sales Manager Honeywell International pe Europa Centrală și de Est. Honeywell Voice Solution este organizația electronică și are un masterat în științe logistice și a început cariera în departamentul de software IBM și mai târziu și-a schimbat rolul în carieră în soluții de gestionare a lanțului de aprovizionare. A fost manager de program timp de 10 ani, concentrându-se pe diverse soluții de logistică, soluții de teren pentru companii orientate spre distribuție. S-a alăturat companiei Honeywell Voice acum 10 ani, în 2011, și a devenit manager de dezvoltare a afacerilor pentru Europa de Est, implicit și piața din România. Hai, Miha! Your microphone is off.
Hello, team. Thank you very much for having me on your event.
You are welcome.
First of all, I would like to thank everyone for joining this session. We will do our best to make it efficient for you and to get some interesting insights. I will have to speak in English. My Romanian is still not good enough. Even if I cooperate with Total Technology for last, I think 9 years, we did a lot of good things together, and today we would like to show you something about Honeywell Voice. What do we see is changing and where do we go? So my agenda is, we will address a little bit supply chain. We will discuss a little bit automation and effort there. And then we will move also to, let's say, classical manual-driven operation in the warehouse. We will address mobile solutions, and I would like to pay special attention on voice. A few words about Honeywell for those who didn't meet Honeywell yet. So the most important for you to remember would be that we cooperate with Total Tech for several years. Me personally 9, but the relationship is much longer. So we are really trusted partner to support your needs. And Honeywell, like a global company, decided to invest even more in logistics segment, even more into IT solutions. So you will see more and more news coming from us. At the moment, we are cooperating with several customers, deployed solution within 10,000 plus warehouses globally. Supply chain, what do we see? So I don't think we need to talk a lot, but we all see e-commerce growth, right? We all see what pandemia, corona created. A lot of uncertainty, a lot of risk, a lot of, I would say, delays, and a lot of quick recovery needs. So I would put it like this. We see strong push within the e-commerce segment. And we noticed this accelerated e-commerce development for something like 5 years. What we expected will happen in 3 to 5 years, it happened now, suddenly. Supply chains are changing. What does that mean? First of all, you customers, you need to respond faster. You need to shorten your fulfillment times, right? You need to be much higher quality. You need to be much more focused to the service level, and you need to reduce the error rate. And yeah, customers are expecting you to decrease the cost of your service. So a lot of topics goes to this attention, and later during the session I will also share with you what do we hear when we meet DC managers, logistics managers, operational managers. Bottlenecks, a lot of bottlenecks. I would put it like this: it's very easy to talk about full automation, but it's not easy to make it. Especially Central and Eastern Europe, it's not easy to make it. So quite often we talk about partial automation, and I think you will have a chance today to hear some great messages also from other presenters during this session. Honeywell, one of news, perhaps it's not even a news for you, cooperating with us and Total Tech, automation. Honeywell decided to go for automation a lot, which means Honeywell acquired company something like 4 years ago, doing full automated warehousing distribution centers. Okay, so everything from scratch, system design to life cycle management. The most important here for you is that we can offer everything. Also important for you, to be fair, at the moment we have limited resources for Europe. We do some selected customers only. We are building our capacity. Factories will be ready. We will be ready for your future extension in the future. On the other side, we still need to talk a lot about productivity increase, and we could stay with, let's say, core program which we have, talking about mobile solutions, man to goods. You know that Honeywell does deliver a lot of technology from mobile computing, printing, RFID, and of course voice-based solutions. So let's look what do we have here for a while. First of all, probably you're aware we have, I would say, one of the best portfolios, mobility portfolio, from scanning to printing. No need to talk about that a lot. I would like to expose, we have great resources located also just for Romania. George Bogdan and my colleague Christian Barsan can share much more with you, and they're happy to support any need you have. A lot of talking, as I said, a lot of topics goes into the automation topics. How I see personally this topic is, yes, everyone would like to automate processes, warehousing, distribution, but we have limits. Those limits can be simply budget, can be simply need, volume, or even DC size, right? Quite often we see customer talking about, let's say, partial start, economical start, which is scalable and adaptable. AMRs are here, right? Let's call them mobile automation. Well, those mobile robots can help to do the work faster. I think we have a guest from Fetchroom, so they will share much more about that. But what I would like to expose here is currently Honeywell Voice does a lot of systems where we integrate mobile operators with AMRs, right? Talking about picking, talking about transfers, multi-order picking. This is what we do, and we have a lot of discussions on this segment. So easy to start, economical to start, scalable and adaptable. Whenever I meet logistics director or this is distribution center manager, we usually have several and very colorful topics to be discussed. But I would expose few things. First of all, they always ask us if we can help them to do more with less people. Example from Romania, very difficult to get workforce. A lot of people moving to Poland, Czech, Slovakia, and so on and so on. Whenever I come to Slovakian warehouse, I would see at least 4 nations there, if not more these days. We are just deploying a project in Romania. It's a leading retailer, very fast-growing retailer, very well-known retailer. Well, probably we can mention it, but I will take a risk. Profirom, right? They look for operation outside of Romania. They use agency for that. So there is a lot of topics. If we could, how can we onboard new operators faster with less effort? And by the way, this workforce, they usually come and go. They could come from 3 months and then they go. Visa-related topics. They could come from very, very exciting part of the world, right? So this is happening a lot. A lot of discussion we have how to train and manage international workforce within the one system. Ergonomy. We need to take care for better ergonomy for our operation. That has to be on our agenda, right? It's not just the productivity. It's not just the quality, but we need to make life easier. People work very hard. They move a lot of kilos and we want them to do more. So we need to make sure they have easier job. Otherwise they will leave our company. They will move to the next neighbor who can offer them, I don't know, 100 euros more. Easy like that. So we need to talk about ergonomy, and this is a regular agenda on our meetings. Most of the topics I mentioned here are I would say very, very colorful. But one topic is very clear: peaks management. If 10 years ago we were talking about Christmas time, or I don't know, I would say some peaks, Black Fridays, this changed dramatically. We now to talk about Mondays, because when I do the shopping, this is usually Sunday. I sit behind my computer and I do the shopping. I order my stuff. I want to get my goods tomorrow on Monday, right? So we talk about daily peaks, even hour level peaks. We talk about very late orders. Order received until 1 o'clock, we need to ship until 4, 3 hours. So peaks management, this is very hot topic in several countries. We have even special, I would say, topics on top of that. For example, countries focused to tourism like Croatia. You can easily imagine their season is during the summer, and they have several hundreds of items, many distribution centers, and they need to be super fast, reacting very fast to fulfill daily requirements. So these are usually the topics we need to discuss with our customers, and these are usually the topics where we come back to you together with TotalTech to deliver you our proposal, how we can address this well. I need to remind you, whatever we do, we support with business case. We create a document for you where we deliver in written what benefits we deliver to you and savings. So you can easily see if this is good enough for you to proceed the discussion or not. Talking about Hannibal voice, so you can easily imagine people work hands-free and eyes-free. It's easier to work, it's safer to work, and you can focus, you can concentrate on the product itself, not on the data admin. But there is another moment, it's safe. It is safe, simple like that. Hands are free, eyes are free. Plus, you see this picture, the operator wearing a mask. These days we talk about COVID. Tomorrow we will talk about something else. System works with masks. That's important. Okay, so where do we go? Why do customers follow us, right? So on the beginning, we have special dedicated device, black box, which has nothing to break, even no display, because we use it as a mobile computer, and the dialogue was using, and we were using dialogue for speech to manage the data. These days, we can put solution on any kind of handheld. My message is we want to be hardware independent, even more operating system independent. Today, we support Android. We already run pilots on iOS. Tomorrow, you will see Huawei operating system coming. And even more. This is going to, I would say, very different kind of hardware. So probably you could expect someone could use iWatch in the future. We will be there for you. What do we explore? How do we secure we go into the right direction? We use all possible censorships in our solutions. For example, already today, we can see if picker is running. Already today, we can see if forklift driver made a crash. We can see if he's accelerating too much. So we can easily use sensors within our handhelds or document device. More, we are integrating vision. Vision will come, pick by vision. I mean, the technology is here. We don't think it's super efficient for every process and every occasion, but the technology is here. We already use it, for example, for maintenance and inspection. And we are moving to lighter and lighter solutions. So you will see our solutions going more into the cloud, and the hardware itself will get lighter. Software itself, local software will get lighter. It will be easier for you to use it. So, how can we approach your particular situation? Perhaps this is the most important slide on my deck. I wanted to give you a sense that we are really carefully observing what is happening within the supply chain and how can we fulfill benefits expectation for your need. Within the, let's say, thinking, shall we automate, shall we keep running manually, right? I exposed what values voice can deliver, and where do we go. But the most important from my side would be, we have local capacity in Romania. Very strong partnership with TotalTech. What we deliver to you is not just the technology, software, hardware, integration, and vision. We also deliver the, I would say, expertise. This is where you need to look for your benefit. We combine worldwide best practice, which we, I would say, collected during last 30 years. We come to your warehouse, we come to your operation to see how you do your job, and then we suggest how we could do it together better with you. We even document that for you. We do that free of charge. We do the business case for you free of charge. So please invite us for your warehouse visit. We will come together with TotalTech. We will deliver you a written document for you to use it however you want. Okay? So that's basically it. I wanted to stick within my 15 minutes. I hope I did it well. Perhaps I was a little bit fast. I apologize for that. But I wanted to give you a big picture. And if you would like to get more from us, I would also invite you to ask for more. We can deliver you, I would say, some very good white papers you can use. For example, the one I like is the document called, Is Your Warehouse Hiding Something? Or the third one, for example, you see on the screen, how can you improve picking workflows? How can you use voice? So welcome to get back to us. My name is Miha Țăpudăr. TotalTech is there for you. We are looking forward to meet you. Any questions? I'm happy to respond at the end of the session. Have a great day. Thank you.
Am început în forță, putem spune, multe puncte de vedere valide și avizate cu privire la partea de optimizare a supply chain-ului. Ați putut vedea experiența și portofoliul impresionant al Honeywell, partenerul principal al Total Technologies, și soluția de voce, cum aceasta poate aduce îmbunătățiri considerabile și consistente în termeni de productivitate, acuratețe și siguranță. După cum puteți vedea, sunt companii care au făcut acest pas către voce și cărora le mulțumim pentru încrederea acordată. Putem spune că aceste companii deja câștigă în fiecare zi prin utilizarea soluției. Cum a menționat și Miha mai devreme și cum știți și dumneavoastră, totul se îndreaptă către interconectare. De altfel și titlul acestui webinar este relaționat cu faptul că tehnologia nu înlocuiește pe oameni, ci îi conectează. Sistemele să fie interdependente, să lucreze împreună în aducerea optimizării necesare. După ce am reușit să îmbunătățim procesele în depozit, sunt preponderent în zona de picking, unde este cel mai provocator. cu ajutorul soluției de voce, ne îndreptăm atenția asupra următorului proces și anume acela de a manipula marfa pregătită și aici vin în ajutor simpaticii roboți autonomi. Daniel?
Ne bucurăm să o avem alături de noi pe Elena Nogales, International Business Manager Fetch Robotics, care ne va povesti un pic despre utilitatea roboților în procesele logistice. Elena are o experiență tehnică bogată, este inginer specializat, iar în prezent, așa cum vă spuneam, face parte din echipa internațională de Business Development a Fetch Robotics după 3 ani de experiență. Ea crede puternic că este momentul pentru o schimbare remarcabilă în piața europeană a organizațiilor logistice. Welcome, Elena.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the introduction. Thank you for having me and for organizing this training. I would not speak Romanian. Unfortunately, I do not speak the language, so it would have to be in English. But as the introduction says, I work for Fetch Robotics. Honeywell has already introduced a little bit AMRs. What I would like to clarify is the main difference between AMRs and AGVs. In terms of how they all look the same, but the main difference is the capabilities. The AMRs are autonomous mobile robots. They have more intelligence. They are able to move around and avoid obstacles. Where AGVs normally they have to follow predefined structures like a magnetic tape or some beacons that may have to be put, or mirrors that may have to be put in place. So that is the main difference between AMRs and AGVs. And with this presentation, what I would like to show you is where we can mount AMRs and where they can actually help you on your daily operations. So what we are targeting, what we are looking for is eliminating that unproductive travel, that dual travel that your workers do in your daily operations that it's limiting their efficiency. Nowadays, workers can spend over 50% of their time doing unproductive travel walking. As you can see on the screen, these are different images that you can find where workers are just going from A to B, either pushing carts or pushing pallets around, which also it goes to their ergonomics. It affects the way they work. They get tired just by pushing around carts, and obviously, if it's heavy items like pallets, it's even less productive for them throughout the day. So what we are targeting is AMRs to take over that long haul material transportation, allowing workers to focus on high value tasks and increase their productivity on their daily operations. Over here, there are some videos of what you can do with robots. In this case, for example, this is a put away where they're breaking up the pallets into smaller pieces and then triggering the workflows with just a scanner. And I'll go into the details of how you can work with these robots in just a minute. But I just think an image it's always better and easier to understand. As you can see over here, if you were doing this with people, the person would have to go from the pallet area all the way to the different aisles. In this case, it is the robot, the one that is delivering the different carts, so that the person is able to then pick up that fully loaded cart and place the different items wherever they correspond. In this case, the robot is saving all that long walk. There are other different functionalities that we can also do. Once the person is done with that cart, it triggers a signal saying that the cart is empty, and the robot comes and picks it up again and delivers to the inbound area. If we go to the urgent delivery, in this case, what is happening is, and this is the main difference between Cart Connect and HMI. As you saw before, the Cart Connect the robot is able to detach from the actual shelf. In this case, the robot stays with the shelf at all times, and it also is equipped with a screen. Normally, we see this product being used in more urgent deliveries or specific cases, like if you would have in manufacturing some QA-related issues to deliver a product directly to the assembly line, or also very high throughput in picking environments like e-commerce or retails, where the robot is assisting the picker. The pickers are normally staying within a specific area, and the robot is the one doing the walking, going through the different zones and consolidating the actual order on the robot, and not consolidating later, or actually having one person pick up the entire order for a specific order. Sorry, they're going at the same time. There we go. This one is showing the roller top. I think the roller top by itself, just by the looks of the robot, it's very self-explanatory. The roller top, it's a robot that has a conveyor belt on top, and it's able to interact with conveyor belts. Over here, the robot will be receiving the command from either a barcode scanner or the WMS. It depends a little bit on the integration. And then it's delivering to another spot. It can be another conveyor belt, or it can actually be a table, or any other area where that tote has to be delivered. So going to that, you now saw the different possibilities with the robot and how they move around. Let me talk a little bit to how you automate your automation. In terms of AMRs, in terms of Fetch Robotics, sorry, we have a fleet management software, which basically tackles all the different actions that the robot, and organizes the different actions that the robots have to do. The way you interact with the robots, or the way you integrate them into the system, it can be step by step. You can do it as a standalone system where the robot is just tasked with a specific actions, and they're scheduled, or they actually triggered by a tablet. We have the possibility of displaying virtual buttons on a tablet that the worker can select from. Another way would be sensor initiation, like you have seen on the conveyor belt. We are integrated with SIG-TDC. SIG-TDC is just an I/O box, which is able to output electrical signals, and also read the input of those electrical signals. A step further will be WS or WMS integration. As we talked, for example, on picking environments, the same way the worker is receiving the order and the places where they have to pick up those goods, the robot is also able to receive those instructions from the WMS or WS layer. And then in conjunction with the WS and the WMS, you can also use devices. As Honeywell was presenting, you are able to interact with the robots also by voice commands or scanners, as we saw in the video. So pretty much as customers, you get to decide how far you want to go into the integration. And the good thing about this system is that you can start and do what we call parallel integration, which is you can start and use the robots and start using them and getting to know the technology, and then the integration can be parallel to that experience. Now, Fetch itself, it's a company that provides a wide range of products. As you can see, this is what we call the Fetch family. Depending on what items you want to transport, we're going to go for one or the other. For smaller items and not as heavy, we're going to go for the ones that you have in the middle. Those can take up to 80 kilograms, depending a little bit on the way the robot is structured. Now, if we're dealing with heavier or more or bigger items, we will go to the pallet transportation or the Car Connect 500. Please note that they can also be used just as the base. In fact, we have several customers using the 1500 as in case picking operations. so that the workers actually pick to the pallet, and then it's the robot, the one that it's delivering the pallet to the outbound area or wrapping stations, depending on where they have to go. One thing that I did want to mention is that when we are dealing with cart connect solutions, the cart has to be specific designed. The most important things is actually the lower part of the cart, but the upper part can be adjusted. For example, we have customers that are taking care of their damage throughout the facility by placing similar to a garbage can on top, and then they're collecting the trash all over their facility and making sure that it's taken care of and delivered to the appropriate station for its processing. Now, I told you in one of the slides that this can be a standalone system where everything is done on the actual fleet manager. As you can see over here, we have made this as easy as we could. What we are using to program the robot is a system based in Blockly. Blockly is the way they teach kids at school how to program. And it's basically done through visual blocks, as you see over here, that you're able to drag and drop into the system. So you as final customers would be autonomous regarding how to use them. Obviously, all this provides analytics in terms of letting you know how the warehouse is doing. This is some simple analytics, but you can also get information about UPH in case you are doing e-commerce or retail environments. One of the things that we normally get asked, because these robots are autonomous and they avoid obstacle, is how do the robot moves around and how are they able to understand where to go and where not to go. As you can see over here on the bottom corner, you have a normal live feed of a normal camera, but the robot is actually capturing different data. They're using a 3D matrix where they're able to pick up objects that are up to 3 centimeters high. So we're able to recognize, for example, if the forklift has the tins down, or obviously food from any associate. So we would never bump into anyone. The robot is able to recognize this with the cameras and the lasers that it has as equipped. And just as a wrap up, what Fetch, basically this is a Fetch solution is a cloud-based system. What that allows us is that it's very rapid in terms of deployment. Normally, we only use 3 days, as long as everything it's set up and the Wi-Fi is available. This cloud system allows you to, as you saw, make changes on the fly. You also have your maintenance team that can also be taking into account what's going on and helping the people on the floor from their computer desk without the need of actually physically being there. And then analytics, normally for international companies, the management team, it's not always sitting right on the same facility as where everything is happening. And that's also available from the cloud. We're also WMS agnostic. It means we do not incorporate our own layer. It's just a matter of connecting to your layer if that's required, or can also be as a standalone system. And then we also offer RAS. I think everybody's familiar with term SaaS, software as a service. RAS is robot as a service, where we allow our customers to rent and use the robots as they need. Also, this allows us to offer you the possibility of adapting when you have peak seasons like Christmas or Black Friday or sales season. And then last but not least, uncompromised safety. As you may imagine, being an American company, safety comes first. And Fetch Robotics is the one that provides the CE certification on the whole overall system. And we're also complying with the latest AMR safety standard that just was released this last Christmas, since our CEO is actually part of the board. Thank you for your time. I went a little bit over time, sorry about that. But thank you for listening. We will be, together with Total Luck, we will be happy to inspect your different use cases and provide you with an answer more detailed to your specific use case.
Thank you, Elena. Ce ar fi soluția Fetch este o soluție matură prin prisma pregătirii și funcționalităților pe care le are. Acel timp neproductiv al mutării mărfiei din punctul A în punctul B. În principiu, de ce să piardă timpul un om cu pregătire, un om specializat pe un anumit segment, când acest task poate fi îndeplinit în mod automat de către un robot? Este o soluție complexă, într-adevăr, dar în același timp este și o soluție ușor de adoptat, datorită faptului că nu necesită infrastructură specială, cum ați putut vedea, nu necesită cabluri, fire inductive sau alte ghidaje, ci doar o conexiune Wi-Fi stabilă, iar specialiștii noștri sunt pregătiți în orice moment să ofere suportul necesar pentru o implementare rapidă, așa cum este precizat că se întâmplă în cazul soluției Fetch. Să ne încadrăm în timp, mergem mai departe.
Mulțumesc, Cătălin. Vom merge spre a treia prezentare de astăzi. Ne bucurăm să o avem alături de noi pe Valerii Comandre, Head of Sales International ACD Electronic. Este responsabilă pentru orientarea strategică a businessurilor de export în afara regiunii, de asistență și gestionarea vânzărilor locațiilor proprii ale companiei din Republica Cehă și Statele Unite, precum și de sprijinul numeroșilor parteneri străini globali pe care organizația îi are, pentru o creștere durabilă, sănătoasă și consolidarea cotelor de piață. Welcome, Valerie.
Thank you, Daniel, and thank you for having me today on your session. Thank you for the introduction. So, the topic today about how to optimize the logistic processes, the colleagues have presented quite a lot of interesting views, but just a few words, because you introduced our company on the front, just to who we are. ACD Group and ACD Electronic is a German company. Since 1976, we have been developing mobile computing devices and solutions for different and various branches. Our group offers customer-specific solutions with ruggedized industrial data capture devices, hardware and software solution, all engineered and designed by our German engineering team. We are about 420 people all around, spread all around the world. And last year we had a turnover of 80 million euro. What we stand for, and we are very proud of it, to be a European independent company. So our strength is to provide European electronic devices with long life cycle. We just say about 8 to 10 years, which is a kind of USP of our company, and also to have all the engineers in our headquarters in Europe, in Germany, give us the possibility just to go for more specific devices and to work together with our big retail and logistic customer to find the best specific device and solutions to customize and to make like tailor-made products for the retail and for logistic and industry. So it would be our USP on that aspect of a middle-sized European company. So we are two production sites in Germany, one production site in Czech Republic, and also one hub in the US market to approach the US market and to service our retail customer that are also in the US market. So we have also a production site in Chicago, Illinois today, and specifically on our business unit portable devices for retail and logistics. we have been developing and producing a large brand of handheld devices, pick by voice, wrist mount scanner, vehicle mount terminals, and more specific for today, we have decided to show and to approach the mobile workstation. And I will go through my presentation on the next slide, and just to come to the basic and see what are the challenges to be faced in the logistic, and more particular with the pandemic situation and the e-commerce emerging and exploding. We have made all the same expertise everywhere. It is all about how to reduce the process times, how to increase speed of execution, increase the volume, how to reduce the labeling errors that occur a lot of cost if it appears, how to enter the data in real time. Even if you have the WMS, how can you guarantee that you work at zero delay in your warehouse? And well, 3PL, 4PL, intralogistic, all this kind of logistic needs to have and rely on optimized processes. And what we have seen is that the expertise we have made is that most of the time the IT equipment, lab, printers and so on, where in the classic logistic, not always in the middle and at the heart of the logistic and of the processes. And our approach is just giving the possibility of our customer from this to reduce the work path and mobilizing their IT works within the warehouse. And in doing that, we approach our mobile workstation because needing to have power supply, our customer needs to have their IT within the warehouse. With mobile workstation, you can move and work wherever needed in your environment. You will change for more efficiency and optimize the processes. How we do that? We have a workstation. It is a trolley. We put an inverter that we calculate. The inverter size always calculate on the needs you will have. And we just insert a very strong and reliable battery on it. And here it is. You can identify your goods directly at arrivals. You just drive your mobile workstation and with your laser printer on it, just to print your delivery documents at the outgoing goods department. Mobile workstation I used in quality control department, just to put and insert some information directly in the WMS or in your quality system. Also very important because of e-commerce emerging, the return management of the goods directly coming back to the warehouse. You have a decentralized return department that you can organize with a mobile workstation and just put the goods back in your WMS and in your sack. So we observe a very large amount and of cost saving in using a mobile workstation, and it's we have a lot of intralogistic customers just changing for the mobile workstation within the warehouse and seeing a productivity increase of an average of 20%, which is very useful, and also a return of investment that it's very short. We are talking about less than 1 year of return of investment, which the manager are very fond of it. So, and all in all, we with our mobile workstation that we produce in Germany, we have a lot of a long life service, working with Total Technology for our Romanian based logistic customers. We have you have on site your partner just to find the right mobile workstation. And here you see a summary of what we are providing, because logistic is not always the same in each country. We have made tailor-made standards. The Max 200, for instance, is our level entry based, and the expertise that there are processes and operation that need only 4 hours autonomy. The most sold and introduced and implemented mobile workstation is our Max standard that you can have in different variants, just to have one shift operation with 8 hours autonomy of batteries for your IT equipment, up to 24 hours processes and operation. And this is all these mobile workstation are run and rely on the battery and the AGM battery. But now, for from the point of view that the Max lithium ion technology is coming on the market, we have also one mobile workstation with lithium ion technology, which gives more flexibility, give you the possibility to charge and work, give you the possibility to recharge very quick during the day. One specific mobile workstation that we are very proud to have, because it is a real need for the food industry and for the food logistic. We have one Max dedicated for the freezer area. It is the Max TK, for which it's possible just to run your IT within the freezer or the cold logistic area, and it is one of the specific kind of workstation of solution that we can provide. Last but not least, we have also an energy box for who would like to just put energy on a trolley to have more flexibility and mobility within the warehouse. You can we provide a lithium ion power box, energy box for this kind of operation. And because we are the one who would do everything specific, of course, you can configure your workstation as you like. And this is something that you can do online on your configurator, or you approach the Total Technology to do it with you. What I would like to focus on is that we are able also, we have standard equipment that you will find on our website, but you can all customize some equipment for your special needs if it's required. So don't be afraid to ask for some specials and specific equipment. Yeah. And this slide is for me very important, because we are just working internationally, and we provide mobile workstation for everywhere, also on the US market. And each country has specification regulations, and we provide all the CE FCC certification needed. We have a RCD on the plug within the workstation to avoid any kind of problem, and which is very important in the pandemic situation. We we have a lot of inquiries because people had just to decentralize the work within the warehouse, that people had to work independent with their own desk, not share laptop, not share the printers, not share the scanners. And that's why it is a good possibility in changing for a mobile desk, just to provide the possibility for the workers to work safe on their own in the logistic area. And last but not least, we also look at the sustainability and using very strong and very well-marked batteries. We guarantee long life battery time, which is a kind of sustainability as well. This year, we will have more workstation, more specific solution for our customers from the perspective that we show a lot of logistic people needed more space on the workstation. They need to have a large laser printer. They need to have a large label printer on their desk. And they asked us to realize new mobile workstations with more space. So now the Max Plus is dedicated for very heavy duty work in the warehouse and give more than 28% more space on the workstation. The next release of this year will be the Max Go, that it is not released yet, but it is a preview today, just to say that we will have a mobile workstation with traction, which enable people to run heavy equipment, heavy IT equipment with them all around the warehouse, with the power supplies on the workstation. And we were also approached by people that need to have all the workers on site. And if we are talking about inclusion, there is a lot of ideas at the moment just to to keep the people on board if they are getting older, and with it, or if somebody have to be rehabilitated after an illness, and with a workstation with traction motor, we can provide a solution just to keep all the workers on board. Now I'm the end of the presentation about our mobile workstation and how to optimize the processes within the warehouse. And just as a summary, I propose to use case at the 3PL logistic Goldhofer in Germany, which works exclusively only with mobile workstation. Thank you very much.
Super.
So thank you very much.
Thank you, Valerie. Flexibilitate, practic, acesta ar putea fi un cuvânt care să descrie soluția. Este clar că în logistică avem nevoie de informații. Datele în timp real sunt vitale pentru bună desfășurare a proceselor și astfel avem nevoie să scanăm, avem nevoie să etichetăm și totodată să avem vizibilitate asupra indicatorilor. Și de ce să accesăm toate aceste elemente în zone diferite și să pierdem timp când le putem avea pe toate într-un singur loc? După cum ați observat pe parcursul acestor prezentări, ne preocupă în mod special reducerea timpului de tranzit, reducerea erorilor, reducerea costurilor operaționale, dar și creșterea productivității. Și toate acestea pot fi obținute cu soluțiile prezentate astăzi. Și ultimul, dar nu cel din urmă, last but not least,
Marco Mariottini este următorul speaker, ultima prezentare de astăzi. Marco este Channel Account Manager pentru Italia și Europa la Partitalia. Are experiență internațională în vânzări, marketing, canal de dezvoltare B2B. Este specializat în vânzarea în industria de captare automată a datelor, calculatoare mobile, automatizare industrială. Este capabil să construiască relații strategice de succes pe termen lung, să motiveze oamenii, are o bună abilitate în procesele de negociere pentru vânzări directe și indirecte complexe. Welcome, Marco.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me to be participant to this nice event. I was to remember that my first travel to Romania was to visit Tehnologia 20 years ago. So we are a long partner, very long time partner. So thank you. About Partitalia, a few words. So we are a leading European. We are able to produce any kind of RFID device, let's say in this way, but we are specialized in wearables. So today we are going to see a wearable. We have more than 15 years experience, and our devices are in-house developed. So hardware, firmware, and software are developed by us, so not third party, let's say. And today, with the experience of more than 10,000 devices deployed all over the Europe, and not only concerning a specific waste collection solution, we are going to show you today. So the device is here. So is a wearable device for picking and other operation into Industry 4.0. So let's see more in deeper what is this. So the name is Discovery Mini. You can see it look like a smartwatch. It's a very ergonomic, ultra lightweight, and read RFID tags. So the miracle of this is that we provide a hands-free solution to the user, so they can read, let's say, any kind of UHF tag up to 1 meter, and you can work for one shift for sure. One other thing is that I'm going to show you, let's say, is about ergonomic. So we understand very well. It's very easy to be used and intuitive to be used. The lightweight, it doesn't require any further movement during the reading and leave the hands free. So whenever is a picking or assembling operation, you can do it. You can carry out the operation with no effort, and it adapted to the operator's gestures. And one important thing that I guess someone of you are thinking, of course, due to the anti-collision firmware, is not reading the same tag several times. So if you still stay in the area of the first tag that you have read, no problem. It's not proceeding with the reading of the same until let's say the timeout stop. how is the system architecture? So you ask me how you can integrate this device to my system. First of all, we offer a gateway. Gateway can be connected, let's say, via Bluetooth to the device. So the device has RFID antenna as well as Bluetooth. And the gateway can be connected to the cloud application by Ethernet, by Wi-Fi, or even by LTE. So you can tell us which are your preferred solution, and then we can deliver to you. So a gateway can cover an range area of 15 square meters by Bluetooth. So you have a quite large operational possibility to cover, let's say, the action of the users. But I'm thinking, and this is absolutely possible, that you can integrate this to your own Android device, for example. So in this case, using the Bluetooth, we have almost at the end of possible delivery of a new system integrated with a kind of Google Glass. So we will see soon. And let's say the limit is really the fact that the Bluetooth is only some meters, let's say, but is enough to cover, let's say, the request. So as I told you, how the feedback from the Discovery Mini. The feedback is done by a vibrator. So you can have a vibration or a flashing LED that is on the screen. And in this case, of course, you have anyhow the possibility, if you are connected with the gateway, to have a bidirectional information. So you can achieve, let's say, the information that the tag that you have read is correct from a second tone or a second vibration from the device itself. So here you see in brackets the feature of the device. So we have a first antenna that is the most important, and that is UHF antenna. Then we have a Bluetooth BLA based machine. In the connection, let's say, concerning the vibration, I told you there is a vibration as well as a configurable buzzer with 2 LED and 2 buttons. And of course, you can configure the distance of reading. So it's possible up to 1 meter according to the tag dimension that you're going to read. And we have enough space for storage. So the device can be used also in a batch mode. This is absolutely possible. And for example, we have just finished a POC in industry of food, where they needed to track the operation time of each employee, and all the foods are arriving by cassette with the RFID tag on. So the operator read the cassette, the new cassette, and start to fulfill this, and then proceed with the next one. So each time the reader registers the information that one cassette has been processed, the second cassette, and so on. And at the end of the day or at the end of the shift, they just left the device near to the gateway, and they receive the batch information, and then they can provide all the, I would say, BI behind this. And don't forget, this device are, let's say, all the system is under SAP, just to have an idea about. Here we create a kind of comparison, because one of the important things is that ergonomy means also that you are able to be faster in the reading, let's say, of a tag / a barcode that at the end sometimes are similar or are containing the same information. So if you consider how many are the actions that you need to do in order to read the barcode with a standard traditional reader, instead of using like the D-Mini. So even with the UHF reader integrator, in any case, the worker needs to handle the reader, then frame the barcode or approach the RFID tag, trig, obtain the feedback, store the reader, and then is able to make the operation with the picking with the hands. The D-Mini, the worker is fast faster. The worker reaches the location of the item, grab it, and in the meantime, the tag is read and obtain the feedback. So this is permitting you to save time. Just to sample, this device has been developed by a request coming from Bosch, Italy, that's asking us to provide a solution to permitting them to make the correct assembling, let's say, of the parts. So they have to assemble very complicated parts in the automotive industry. This was a request first. And they like the idea to have the hands-free. They need to have the hands-free. And the second user of this, it was FCA. Recently, we shipped also to Bridgestone, so it's automotive. But I told you, it's not only for automotive. You can be used. You can be used in many other areas. For example, in production, as I told you, in part assembly, or in the production control with the semi-automatic environment, as well as hands-free picking. Here is, I guess, probably one of the most common way to use the dimming, or you during the goods shipment. Exactly what my previous speakers and my previous colleagues say about the e-commerce booming. So this can help the company to provide the faster logistics answers, as well as in the shelf replenishment or in the good shipment preparation from a warehouse. These are more or less the scenario out of this. For any question, please, I'm here or ask to talk about technology. Thank you so much. I guess I was the last one before the lunch, so I was very, very fast. Thanks.
Thank you, Marco. We'll keep it short. Thank you for taking the time to write in Romanian. That mulțumesc. Sperăm că am reușit să atingem subiecte de importanță și de interes pentru toți dintre dumneavoastră. În continuare, așteptăm întrebările dumneavoastră în ideea de a clarifica anumite aspecte. Au fost multe informații și sperăm să rămână cât mai multe dintre acestea pe mai departe. Recomandare, să-i spun așa, cu privire la principalele elemente a le prelua în urma acestui webinar. Ca și un fel de recapitulare, aș zice că soluția de voce vine cu beneficiile creșterii productivității, acuratețe la nivel înalt și un training time cât de mic posibil, astfel încât oamenii să devină productivi în cel mai scurt timp. Soluția de roboți autonomi mobili care aduc o eliminare a acelui timp de tranzit care poate fi folosit, să spunem, în scopuri mai bune și în același timp asigurând siguranța oamenilor ce lucrează, deoarece soluția este certificată, roboții sunt certificați ca și coboți pentru lucrul în mediu cu oameni, în același environment cu oamenii. Soluțiile ACD, în special carturile, oferă flexibilitate și ergonomie în același timp pentru a putea optimiza, să-i spunem, toate procesele legate de marfa pe care o avem în depozit. Și soluția de Part Italia ce vine cu ergonomie ca și principal beneficiu și totodată mâini libere, privire liberă pentru a putea fi productiv și în siguranță. Acum, dacă avem întrebări. Să vedem.
Avem două întrebări în zona de Q&A. Cătălin.
Așteptăm mai multe.
La prima dintre ele, cred că ai cam răspuns tu, sau cel puțin parțial, se referă la avantajele pe care le are tehnologia de voce în depozite.
Dar considerăm că este o soluție foarte complexă și interesantă. L-aș ruga totuși pe Miha să completeze sau să confirme ceea ce am spus. So, Miha, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you.
So we have one question that is mentioning what are the main advantages of using voice technology in a warehouse?
So I'll put it like this. First of all, productivity growth. You need to be able to do more with the same amount of people because it's just easier to work. So I would say productivity growth. That could be something between 10 to 20% productivity growth compared to guns, using guns. But it really depends on the process and the current situation. So productivity growth. Second benefit needs to be work ergonomy. It's just easier to work in the warehouse. Hands-free and eyes-free. The third one, less errors. Up to 50% less errors. Today, in well-designed process, people do something like 0.4% errors during the picking. We reduce that for 50%, 50. The fourth one would be rather for the management, distribution center management, warehouse management. It's easier to train and onboard new employees. They get faster to full productivity. And they can use any language they want, Romanian, Ukrainian one, Taiwan, for example, Nepal, we just did for some warehouses in Romania. The next benefit I would like to expose is also, well, it's just safer because your eyes are free. So many benefits which directly influence management level, which means savings, and also benefits for the operation itself. It's easier to start using voice and it's easier to work. I hope I answered the question.
In a very good manner. Thank you, Miha.
We have another question regarding the minimum surface area recommended for the use of robots. I think the question is for Elena.
Yes, thank you. There's not really minimum surface. It's a matter of minimum walking time. Obviously, if the walking distance is 5-10 meters, the robot is not going to make sense. But if the walking distance is around 50 to 100 meters one way, which both ways doubles that time, then that's when it makes sense. But we have customers using robots in very small surfaces, very small warehouses, and very big. It's a matter of analyzing that, and Total Technologies can definitely help you with that as well as ourselves.
Great. Thank you. Deci, cum s-a menționat și mai devreme, este sau recomandăm să putem discuta cu privire la toate aceste soluții, să putem veni cu recomandările noastre și în același timp să putem construi împreună business case, analiză ROI, care să ne ajute să ne dăm seama de eficiența investiției și totodată să facă sens investiția pentru top management. Ok, dacă nu mai sunt întrebări, aș zice că trecem și la partea frumoasă.
La partea de concurs, nu?
La partea de concurs, să vedem, poate între timp mai vin și alte întrebări.
Da, imediat vom încărca și întrebările pentru concurs.
Perfect.
Puteți regăsi pe ecran întrebările pe care le-am pregătit pentru concursul de astăzi. Care este acuratețea ce poate fi obținută cu soluția Honeywell Voice? Este prima întrebare. Vă încurajăm să oferiți răspunsurile în secțiunea de Q&A, iar primii dintre dumneavoastră care vor răspunde vor și câștiga premiile. Putem merge și către următoarea întrebare. Cătălin, o să te rog pe tine să o adresezi pe asta.
Ok, și cea de-a doua ar fi care este durata estimată de implementare a soluției Fetch? Da, luând în considerare că lucrurile sunt așezate, sunt relativ standardizate, organizate, care ar fi durata de implementare? Și de altfel și unul dintre principalele, să spunem, avantaje ale soluției.
Până vor răspunde participanții noștri la întrebările concursului, Cătălina, am văzut că a mai venit o întrebare în secțiunea de Q&A, dacă...
Ok. Okay, so we live in a time of information technology, systems, interfaces, robotics, and what is clear is that the customers need to adapt to the times. This is the future. Warehouses need technology, and technology is knocking at the door. A question for any speaker who wants to answer. How will you find new clients for cooperation? What will you tell them to take this step forward and to implement new systems and purchase revolutionary equipment? This is a tough one. So basically, what would be the, let's say, the main points to bring forward in order to cover the question why? Why should I implement these solutions? Why should I go for all of these technologies, each and every one aside? Mainly, this would be the question. If anybody cares.
I'll go.
Great.
So I think it's not a matter of chasing customers to purchase a specific solution. It's a matter of looking at your own warehouse and at your own operations and finding your pains. It can be productivity, it can be workforce that it's hard to find or that it's unreliable. All those things are going to count towards the ROI. So in the end, there's no suitable solution for everyone. It's not one thing it's going to solve everything. It's a matter of exploring the different use cases that you may have and finding the correct solution. And sometimes it might be a combination. You can combine, for example, voice speaking techniques with AMRs or business systems or NFC readers, for example. We have a way of using those NFC readers to identify workers, and then they will start using a robot. So what I would like to do is to encourage you to contact Total Technologies. Let's explore the different use cases that you may have, the different pains that you are suffering currently. And Total Technologies is more than capable of finding the correct solution for you within their portfolio.
Very well pointed. În principiu este ce a spus Elena corelează cu ceea ce susținem și noi de fiecare dată despre faptul că ne dorim să reușim să luăm legătura, ne dorim să discutăm împreună cu dumneavoastră, ne dorim să înțelegem înainte de orice propunere, să înțelegem cât mai bine provocările, să înțelegem cum se întâmplă lucrurile în mediul nostru de lucru și pe acestea să putem veni cu recomandările specialiștilor, cu sfaturi și împreună să găsim soluțiile care să răspundă la fiecare provocare în parte. Deci, practic, este un îndemn la discuții. Și Miha, cred că menționa la început. Luați-ne în depozite, în fabrici, să discutăm și să vă oferim și punctul nostru de vedere al unei companii care este în permanentă legătură și conectare cu tehnologia.
Ok, am putea să arătăm și premiile, slide-urile următoare după întrebări. Unul dintre premii este un suport de telefon pentru video call, iar celălalt premiu, o boxă wireless. Acestea sunt premiile pe care le puteți câștiga răspunzând la cele două întrebări pe care le vom mai afișa imediat pe ecran.
Așteptăm răspunsurile. Nu poate fi niciun răspuns greșit. Toate pot duce către o mai bună înțelegere și sperăm să vină și cele exacte, să spunem, răspunsurile exacte la aceste întrebări.
Între timp a apărut și pool-ul de evaluare a întregului eveniment. Așa cum vă spuneam și la început, vă încurajăm să răspundeți la întrebările pe care le regăsiți în partea dreaptă a ecranului. Între timp, până vor mai răspunde dintre participanți sau vor mai adresa întrebări, Cătălin, voiam să te întreb pe tine dacă din experiența proiectelor implementate de voi în România sunt, nu știu, anumite industrii pentru care poate se potrivesc mai bine anumite soluții, anumite dimensiuni ale business-ului, anumite aspecte specifice ce țin de, nu știu, de procesele lor, de logistică, de supply chain. Unde credeți voi că poate ar fi cel mai bine organizațiile să se uite cât mai repede la toate aceste investiții în tehnologie pentru ca evident să-și optimizeze și să-și ușureze procesele organizaționale?
Daniel, sincer să fiu, nu am identificat ca fiind anumite industrii mai potrivite. Dacă ar fi să privim la modul general și cum ne mai place nouă să spunem că ne ocupăm de colectare și prelucrarea automată a datelor, practic soluțiile și având destul de multe soluții în portofoliu din dorința de a fi flexibili și de a putea atinge cât mai multe provocări, putem acoperi cam orice nevoie de a avea informația la îndemână, de a avea informația în timp real, de a o putea colecta într-un mod sigur pentru a elimina eventuale erori în acest proces care ar putea produce efecte pe mai departe. Și atunci sunt aplicabile cam în mai toate industriile. Desigur, sunt anumite industrii care au o intensitate, să spun, mult mai mare. Poate logistica, acolo unde mereu este contratimp. Avem nevoie să pregătim marfa, să o pregătim corect, să o avem disponibil la timp, să poată fi preluată, să poată fi livrată. În producție avem comenzi de onorat, trebuie să știm cum stăm în fiecare pas al producției, ce putem să ne așteptăm, astfel încât noi spunem că, având informația la îndemână, poți lua decizii importante pentru business și totodată să reacționezi sau să acționezi atunci când este cazul, înainte de, nu știu, poate alte lucruri să se întâmple. Și din punct de vedere al dimensiunilor, aș zice că orice companie conștientizează anumite provocări și le dorește să le depășească, își dorește să crească și este nevoie pentru a acoperi sau asigura acea creștere de anumite sisteme care să susțină. Cum spuneam și soția de voce, do more is less. Practic este să faci mai multe task-uri cu aceiași sau mai puțini oameni și de aici te poți asigura că acea creștere pe care ți-o dorești poate fi onorată, să-i spunem. Degeaba avem incoming sales dacă nu le putem și livra.
Mulțumesc, Cătălin. Văd că între timp avem și niște răspunsuri pe care o să te rog să le validezi.
Să le validăm, așa este. Da, pentru prima întrebare cu nivelul de acuratețe pe care îl asigură sistemul de voce, este într-adevăr 99,98%. Primul răspuns este domnul Valentin Nicolae. Și la întrebarea numărul 2, care se referea la durata de implementare a roboților, este într-adevăr de 3 zile. Doamna Mihaela Mănescu. Roboții pot fi implementați în 3 zile, poate și mai puțin, dacă sunt lucrurile puse la punct. Îi felicit pe câștigători și ne bucurăm că sunt anumite informații care au rămas. Sperăm să fi găsit tot acest timp, o oră și jumătate, o oră și 40, cu scuzele de rigoare, am depășit, să fi găsit interesant și cu drag, oricând considerați, putem să discutăm mai pe larg despre oricare dintre ele.
Mulțumim frumos, Cătălin, mulțumim tuturor speakerilor de astăzi. E clar că tehnologia ne ajută și ăsta e mesajul cu care cred că trebuie să rămânem după ziua de astăzi. Tehnologia ne ajută să fim mai productivi, să fim mai conectați, să fim mult mai eficienți în tot ceea ce facem și până la urmă să ne ușurăm munca și toate procesele organizaționale. Mulțumim și participanților noștri de astăzi. Sperăm că au fost o oră și jumătate, o oră și 40 de minute cu informații utile. Vă așteptăm cu drag la evenimentele noastre viitoare și, bineînțeles, sperăm că toate informațiile de astăzi au fost utile pentru dumneavoastră și dacă sunt anumite informații detaliate pe care le doriți, specialiștii Total Technologies vă stau cu drag la dispoziție pentru informații, pentru consultante și pentru găsirea unor soluții care să se adapteze foarte bine pe specificul activității dumneavoastră. Pentru câștigători, îi încurajăm să ne transmită un mail pe office@business-marcu.ro cu coordonatele la care putem să livrăm cele 2 premii. Mulțumim încă o dată și vă așteptăm cu drag la evenimentele viitoare. O după amiază plăcută!
Numai bine, zi minunată!